But first, let's get to our naturally inspired moment, because I heard something, about muscle, and when I was doing some researching and studying over the weekend, and just, how we still are living in kind of this aesthetic when it comes to health, that it's all about an aesthetic, the way you look, especially in women's health. And it just kind of pissed me off, to be honest. I just kind of got pissed off listening to something I was listening to on health and getting healthy and stuff. I was like, are we still here? Are we really still here? Let me tell you that what diet culture has done to women. What diet culture, and that's like through the 80s and 90s, late 70s, I believe it started. In the 80s, it was really big. I'm talking about your slim fast and your fat free and all that stuff. And, just your waistline and be tiny, right? Be small. Do you know what being small has done to women? The social pressure to be small has created a multi-generational diet culture where women become frail, weak, riddled with osteoporosis, and are plagued with dementia. Because, for goodness sakes, don't be big. Don't be big, be small. Women are small and dainty, and, this is the way you need to be. You got to be small. So today's naturally inspired moment is about stop shrinking yourself. Because there isn't power in being small. It's not about being small. We really have to shift the thinking on this. And myself included. I mean, it has taken me decades to love my body. A body that has showed up for me every day, even though I have put it under abuse. I have run thousands of miles in it. I have taken it everywhere, right? You can't escape it. I have at times starved it. I have at other times deprived it. I have not been grateful through this journey. It took me till my 40s to feel true gratitude for my body. Actually, in my 30s, I think it started changing when my mother died. When my mom died, I had a new lease on my body because of watching her deteriorate through her illness. But this idea that you should Pilates your way out to health. I'll come back to that. I'm not anti-Pilates. You should yoga your way, because you don't want to get bulky. You don't want to get big. The idea that you're going to turn into like a muscle woman just from lifting weights is hilarious. Do you know how much time people have to put into like becoming a big muscle lady? and I would add assistance in chemicals as well to become a huge muscle lady. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you need muscle. So stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for, not being small. In a world where everyone's shouting to be heard, it's tempting to think volume equals power. But true influence doesn't come from noise. It comes from presence. Being bold doesn't mean being brash. The strongest people walk with quiet confidence, and the classiest ones never need to announce it. I'm talking about being bold because I think being bold as a woman can come with being a loudmouth. And I think maybe that's why so many women want to be seen as small. I want to be small. Women are supposed to be dainty. They're supposed to be quiet. They're supposed to be, and I get it. But that's not true strength. And it's not equating to a healthy life. By depriving yourself, you are losing muscle, which you need to be healthy. And it's leading to illnesses like dementia. So there's no power in trying to be small. And I think why we want to be small is because we're afraid of being seen as loudmouths. And those barky women that are like, I know it all. I'm a boss babe, tough chick. You know what I mean? Because that's not attractive. I mean, we're seeing a lot of that right now in the social media platforms with the EBT stuff, right? It's like, you're not going to take my, and you just think, oh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a loud, barky woman. That's fake strength, people. That is fake strength. That is not feminine strength. Feminine strength is an art. You can be bold and still carry class. So here are 5 strategies to be bold in a classy way. Know your values. Boldness with class starts from the inside. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you don't need to over-explain or prove yourself. Speak from your values, not your ego, and people will feel your steadiness. Never deviate from your values and your belief system. 2, choose grace over reaction. So classy boldness shows up when you could clap back, insult, right? You see it all the time. Insulting, you're not going to, tell me what to do, blah, blah. Like, you know what? Sometimes silence is queen. Sometimes silence is queen. When emotions rise, breathe. It's not that you're not going to have the response physically when you get riled up or when someone, challenges you. Take the space. Respond thoughtfully, not with impulse. Power isn't in the volume of your words. It's in the restraint behind them. Number 3, speak with intention. Every word you say carries energy. And people can use words to uplift and educate and inspire. It's not about dominating. So before you speak, ask, does this add value to this conversation? That's where boldness turns into wisdom. I ask myself that all the time. When I'm bringing you these stories, I don't want to repeat what other people are already saying. I want to bring you something fresh that you can contemplate so that you can bring your own ideas to the forefront. There's a lot of repetition out there. If I can't add something new to the conversation, if I can't move you in a way that pushes you towards a positive outcome and your own contemplation, then I'm not saying it. Very important. Let your actions reflect your confidence. Nothing speaks louder than composure. Keep your standards high, your tone calm, and your results visible. Boldness doesn't chase attention. It commands respect through consistency and elegance. And ladies, that is what you don't quite understand. You have all the power. You just don't tap into it. Protect your dignity and your energy. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. That's such a good point, right? I mean, there are people like social media especially, right? Trust me, I'm not attending very many arguments these days. I get comments. It's like, I value your opinion. Good for you. I'm not attending. I decline your request. You have no idea who you're arguing with. It's probably a bot. I mean, and that's what I tell myself most of the time. It's like somebody says something mean, they just like, you know what? It's probably a bot. Am I gonna argue with a bot? Heck no. Get out of here. Walk away when things sink beneath your values. Protect your peace. Protect your posture and protect your presence. That's real strength wrapped in grace. Don't waver on your beliefs. You don't have to give up your beliefs and your value system to somebody because they're challenging you. And you don't even need to rebuttal them. You can just say, good for you. Let me know how that works out for you. It's not my job to convince you. I think a lot of us learned through COVID that it's kind of a losing game. You can't convince people who don't, they're not in a place to even understand. They're not in a place to understand. Why would you waste your energy trying to convince them? Don't chase. Do not chase. Boldness gets attention, but class will earn you respect. You don't have to shout to make waves. You don't got to be a mouthpiece, mouthy. Yuck. Nobody wants to listen to that. Insulting. It's not getting you the results. So you don't have to break down the door as a woman. And you don't have to apologize for taking up space, but you don't have to break down the door. There's a much better way. When you move with elegance and conviction, the world notices. So the biggest takeaway here is knowing your values, knowing your belief system, and executing it. Model the behavior that you want to see. We're going to talk more about this issue with muscle and taking up space in our health topic today. You're listening to Naturally Inspired, and we'll be right back.